Hey everyone! Today we're going to talk about some incidents from the internet iceberg. I'm sure many of you have already watched plenty of internet iceberg videos before, so I don't really need to explain what an iceberg is. If you enjoy this video, I'll make more like this in the future. Before we begin, a quick warning. This video contains some NSFW and NSFL topics. Also, I've added the source links in the description below. Huge thanks to the original creators for putting together such amazing content. Alright then, let's begin today's video. Possibly in Michigan is a classic horror short film made in 1983 by Cecilia Condit. The video itself contains the story of two strange women and their encounter with a masked stalker. The short ends with the two women eating the stalker in a soup. Recently, one of the songs from the short circulated on TikTok as a sort of creepy audio. Chris Harper Mercer, 1989 to 2015, was an American mass shooter. Mercer had been active on 4chan and Columbine-related websites. 4chan was where he would post his manifesto. It is unknown when exactly he would fire the first shots, but the first 911 call would be at 10:38 a.m. In some reports, he would force students into the middle of the classroom and open fire on the ones that he didn't force into the middle. On one occasion, he actually spared a student's life so she could deliver a package to the police. On some reports, they say he yelled, "Gimme them dank memes." After the shooting, 9 people tragically lost their lives, and Mercer had ended his. The category this incident falls into is NSFW/NSFL. Shadilay is an Italian disco song created by the artist Pepe in 1986. It garnered internet notoriety in 2016 during the Donald Trump era of poll, when an individual found a vinyl record of the track and noticed that not only was the artist's name similar to the name of Pepe the Frog, the cover art also included a frog holding a magic wand. Due to the popularity of Pepe memes, particularly between 2016-17, this coincidence meant people immediately grew an attachment to the song, and it became something of an anthem for poll users and was played many times during the He Will Not Divide Us wars. Malte er gay, translating to Malta is gay, was an alleged YouTube video surfacing at an unknown date. Not much is known about the origins of the video, who uploaded it, when it was posted, etc. The only information about this video comes from an Ask Reddit post describing the video. In the video, an old man is seen staring at an image of a bodybuilder for a period of time before pulling his pants down and masturbating. The video was found by a group of friends using a Discord bot called Rhythm. The bot has a feature where you can enter keywords and the bot will scour YouTube for a video with the same name. Upon entering Malte er gay, the group was met with the video. It had apparently existed for quite a while before getting wiped off the internet, with no archive being available. The category this incident falls into is deleted/lost media, NSFW/NSFL, hoax/rumor. The Fappening was the name given to a massive leak of private photos and videos of numerous celebrities, primarily women, which were stolen from Apple's iCloud storage and posted online. The term is a combination of happening and a vulgar slang term referencing sexual arousal. Hackers exploited weaknesses in Apple's iCloud security, using phishing techniques to gain access to celebrities' accounts. Initially, the images were posted on 4chan and Reddit by anonymous users. A subreddit called r/the Fappening was created specifically for hosting and sharing the stolen images. Other platforms and blogs mirrored the content, leading to a widespread viral scandal. The subreddit was short-lived and legal action was taken by many celebs. Legal and public reaction. Many victims, such as Jennifer Lawrence, publicly condemned the leak as a severe violation of privacy and a form of sexual abuse. Lawrence described it as a sex crime. Reddit shut down the r/the Fappening subreddit after significant backlash. Some perpetrators were arrested and prosecuted. For example, Ryan Collins pleaded guilty in 2016 and received an 18-month prison sentence for his role in the hacking. The event also sparked widespread debates about online privacy, cybersecurity, and the treatment of women on the internet. It also highlighted the dangers of cloud storage and raised awareness about digital vulnerabilities. The War Thunder military document leaks, commonly referred to as the War Thunder leaks, refers to a series of events where users of War Thunder forums leaked military documents to the community. War Thunder is an online game where players use tanks, planes, and boats to battle each other. The game strives for accuracy and realism in all its aspects, often citing military documents which are open to the public to base the models and in-game attributes of its vehicles. It has vehicles from the 1930s all the way to the present. The leaks. The leaked docs ranged from minor documents detailing a single component or subsystem to full manuals that had every detail about the vehicle. There have been around a dozen leaks so far. The original Challenger 2 leak, July 2021, came up after an argument on the forums where a user, a tank commander that operated the tank, became furious the armor was some 5 millimeters thinner in-game than it was in real life. The document, which basically served as a user manual, was actually unclassified at the time and revealed very little of military value to enemy countries. Other leaks have been more serious and could have revealed vital weaknesses or limitations to any enemy country's intelligence. Consequences. Users that post these documents have been banned and the moderation team has put up warnings and such, but it hasn't stopped people from doing it. It is unknown what real-life consequences the users who shared these have suffered. Eben Byers was a socialite and amateur golfer born in 1880 who became infamous for drinking Wadanohara, a drink which was made from water with radium placed inside, making it radioactive and therefore extremely dangerous. He started consuming the drink after an arm injury, believing it would help with the pain. Long-term and consistent consumption of this drink led to the dissolution of his entire upper jaw and most of his lower jaw, as well as disintegrating his bone tissue and forming holes in his skull. Byers died in 1932 from cancer caused by drinking Wadanohara, deformed from radiation poisoning. Only one photograph of Byers after the radiation took its toll on his body is known to exist, and it is the photo shown here. Elliot Rodger is an American mass shooter who also owned the YouTube channel of the same name. Elliot Rodger was responsible for a mass killing in Santa Barbara, California on May 23, 2014. Before the attack, he posted videos and a written manifesto online expressing anger and frustration over social rejection and his feelings toward women. On that day, he killed 6 people and injured 14 others using firearms and his car. The victims included both men and women. Rodger's attacks were part of a personal vendetta he described in his manifesto. He ultimately took his own life before police could apprehend him. The incident gained widespread attention because of the manifesto and videos he left online, which outlined his motivations and made him one of the most infamous cases of a male entitlement-motivated attack. Face split video, or face split diving accident, is a video of a 16-year-old boy in Lebanon attempting to dive into water and hitting his face on the rocks. He is then seen floating in the water as blood surrounds his face before being retrieved from the water as the water turns red. The video then cuts to him on the operating table with his face split down the middle. A doctor is seen pushing it back together, presumably to allow him to breathe or for work to be done. The video is about 2 minutes long. The story was reported in Lebanon and the boy did die. The video, specifically the hospital footage, is very graphic. Skepticism over the video's validity. This video is actually a splice of 2 videos, the first being a boy successfully diving, then a different boy, purportedly his brother, failing the dive and hitting his face, which is the confirmed incident. The second video of the hospital is not confirmed to be the same person. You cannot tell what the person looked like because of the state of his face. Some people claim that the hospital video is actually a failed suicide attempt or that the video was fake. It is not known, however, there are claims of a longer video where the doctors seem to confirm that the boy is the same one in the first video. This video was featured as one of the 20 videos on the Run the Gauntlet website and was shared around mainly on Twitter and Instagram, although is not as well known as others. Keyboard Cat is a video-based internet meme. Its original form was a video made in 1984 by Charlie Schmidt of his cat Fatso seemingly playing a musical keyboard, though manipulated by Schmidt off-camera to a cheery tune. While Schmidt had uploaded the video himself to YouTube in 2007, Brad O'Farrell, with Schmidt's permission, appended the video to the end of a blooper video uploaded in 2009, as if to have the cat play the person offstage after the gaffe as they had done in vaudeville. The idea of this quickly expanded on the internet by numerous other users, typically under the name Play 'em Off Keyboard Cat, and became a popular meme on YouTube. R.I.P. Keyboard Cat, aka Bento, 1978-1987. 7/25/2005 is a creepypasta/hoax about a hijacking incident on Nickelodeon in 2005. It was said to take place during the SpongeBob SquarePants episode Your Shoes Untied / Gary Takes a Bath. The hijacking has been debunked as a work of fiction, though many recreations have been made to replicate what it would have looked like. The story is from the viewer's perspective. The viewer talks about how they were scrolling through their channels list and ended up on SpongeBob, which they continued to watch. The episode played throughout as normal until a scene where SpongeBob repeatedly trips on his shoelaces as he goes to the Krusty Krab. As he falls through the door and Patrick greets him, he doesn't get up normally and is seen repeatedly getting up and falling as if he's gasping for air. It stayed on the frame for a while until static appears and the scene changes to SpongeBob laying on the floor again, albeit in the kitchen. He would appear laying down like this again, although surrounded by complete black. The scene cuts again to him and Gary in a shoe bouncing repeatedly for some time as the last note of the Loop-de-Loop song plays. This goes on for a few seconds until Gary Takes a Bath starts. Another visual of SpongeBob and Gary is seen before cutting to static. The viewer expresses confusion about whether this was simply a glitch or a hijack. Many users have turned the creepypasta into video recreations known as videopastas. The first known recreation is one made by YouTube user Nice and Cool, who has since been taken off the platform and has many lost videos. The video is 25 seconds long and only contains the Your Shoes Untied part. The most popular recreation is one by YouTube user Yumi Be Best Girl, posted on June 17, 2023. Snuff films are theoretical films that contains real murder that has been performed and filmed for profit. It has been unconfirmed whether any films like this have actually been produced, although there are many videos of murder that have been made and released: One Lunatic, One Ice Pick, cartel execution videos, ISIS execution videos, etc. These videos were never made for profit, so they do not count as a snuff film. Snuff films have been rumored to exist since the early 70s. With a conspiracy theory, they alleged there were underground groups making and selling snuff films, but again, there is no evidence of an existing group of any kind. There are a number of films that are made to look like actual snuff films, the most famous example being the 1976 exploitation horror film Snuff, which had a lot of false advertising that strongly hinted at the possibility that the murders in the film were real. The film gave the term snuff the notoriety it still has today. Other films like Cannibal Holocaust, the Guinea Pig films, and the August Underground trilogy were made to appear as though real death happened in the film, with the FBI being called on a number of occasions over such films, with Cannibal Holocaust going so far as to have some of the actors not make a public appearance until the director was taken to court over the allegations. The viral shock video that depicts the Dnipropetrovsk maniacs murdering Sergei Yatsenko has been rumored to be a snuff film. In the trial for the maniac's several killings, a number of people, a girlfriend of one of the killers and a former classmate, reported that the boys were killing people to sell to a snuff website. Such claims were rejected by the court, claiming there was no evidence behind said claims, although the rumors have led to more speculation on an underground snuff ring possibly existing, and how the video was leaked to the internet is still unknown. The category this incident falls into is NSFW/NSFL. A website was created on Saddam Hussein's 60th birthday, 1997, that went under the URL http://196.27.0.22/Iraq. Doesn't work anymore. The website's main usage was to email Hussein about the Arab world and Iraq. At the time, Iraq had no internet access, so emails would be received in Jordan, printed out, and sent to Iraq, where Hussein could read them and presumably respond to them too. The site was never archived, and the only description of it comes from a New York Times article, which reads, "The World Wide Web page, http://196.27.0.22/Iraq, shows Iraq's flag with the Arabic inscription Allahu Akbar, God is great, and a picture of Mr. Hussein described simply as the leader. There is a biography of Mr. Hussein in Arabic, which can be read only if a computer user has an Arabic font loaded onto his web browser, and a description in English of the suffering that Iraqis are said to have endured during nearly 7 years of United Nations sanctions imposed on Baghdad for its 1990 invasion of Kuwait. There are also pictures of tourist landmarks. The website has never been archived on the Wayback Machine or archive.today, apart from a robots.txt file which doesn't show much, meaning the NYT article contains the only known information about what it looked like. The 4chan Catacombs skull incident refers to a thread posted to 4chan's /b board where one anon asked if they could get a skull they stole from the Paris catacombs back to the US. Some anons were disbelieving until the OP posted pictures of the skull with a note stating "Sup B" along with the date, June 5, 2007. Some anons found this funny. Others weren't too happy that they stole a skull, and one anon told OP to stick his dick in the skull. After some hesitation, he did exactly that, posting 8 pictures of him skull fucking an actual skull. Anon must always deliver. The American Smokers' Party is a party that doesn't fall under any specific political affiliation. Instead, they campaign against anti-smoking, claiming it's a lie and a scam perpetuated by the pharmaceutical companies, who are apparently the tobacco industry's biggest competitor, although the group has not been active since 2014, according to their website. They use arguments such as we've cooked for thousands of years and now we're suddenly dying off due to some smoke, and 70 million smokers, including me, are not going to quit. Truly some watertight arguments. There are some studies linked that apparently prove that smoking is actually good for you, reducing the risks of Alzheimer's and lung cancer, although no source for the specific papers is given for most of these claims. The founder of ASP is a man called Gary Kaiser, and he believes that because 15% of Illinois, where he presumably lives, are smokers, this will be enough people to vote out current anti-smoking politicians, and that they must unite to get rid of the anti-smoking Nazis. To quote him, "I smoke, I am angry as hell, and I will vote with a vengeance." He recommends sticking up posters, flyers, and stickers around to raise awareness, which includes not only anti-smoking advertising, but also things like global warming being a hoax. He is vocal against the tobacco tax. Effectiveness. As far as I can tell, this party has done nothing, consists of no one but Gary and potentially some people in his emailing list, and it seems that any time an anti-smoking policy of any kind is repealed, he claims that it was due to his efforts, although his efforts seem to entirely be constrained to this website and email list, so his claims are doubtful to say the least. In 2018, a Reddit user created an account and made a post on r/confession titled, "Confession, I'm on the internet right now. I'm born, brought up, and live in a cult, so this is confession-worthy." He would explain in the post that he has access to a computer with an internet connection as he was supposed to be marketing products the cult makes. However, he is able to use incognito mode to prevent his mother from seeing other internet activity when she checks the browsing history. Many users would pour out support in the comments, providing links to resources the user could use to help them escape the cult and educate themselves on matters the cult may not have taught them. Confirmation of leaving the cult. The user would continue making posts on Reddit now and then, both about the cult and other unrelated topics. Roughly a year later, they would post a picture of a piece of art they had drawn, and in comments, other Redditors would ask him how he was doing. In one reply, he would state he is now living in Vancouver with distant family, confirming he is now away from his parents in the cult. Wadanohara and the Great Blue Sea is a sea-themed RPG created by Deep Sea Prisoner, sometimes known as Funamusia and formerly known as Mogeko, released in December 21, 2013, and is made in RPG Maker 2000. The game, while obscure, has a small but thriving fanbase, as of with Funamusia's other works. In-game, you play as Wadanohara, a sea witch traveling back to her home with her familiars, all marine animal-based, Memika, Dolphy, and Fukami, but noticing strange happenings around the Sea Kingdom, all with a shark-based character, Samekichi, being blamed for it. Later in the game, the Totsusa Kingdom attacks, and it's up to Wadanohara and her familiars to put a stop to it. The game, despite being an RPG, is more heavily focused on its story than its gameplay, leading to some criticism over the in-game pacing. As the game progresses, you learn through flashbacks that Samekichi and Wadanohara actually had a more deeper relationship before meeting her familiars, though breaking up through unknown means. As you now warm up to Samekichi, it is revealed that the person who set up the invasion and wanted a greater control of the sea is none other than Shiake-san, or Sal, a small, seemingly insignificant shark who is revealed to have a human form and is the harborer of the Sea of Death, a sector of the ocean ruled by none other than Princess Mikotsuhime. Now, with the sea in peril and in an uncanny red and black scheme with unnerving details, Wadanohara has to stop Shiake-san and her kingdom. There are a few endings in the game, the most infamous, however, being the Red Sea Witch ending, in which as Shiake-san, in order to rule the sea, is heavily implied to rape Wadanohara as Samekichi watches, being brainwashed to serve Shiake-san and the Sea of Death. What makes this dark scene any more horrific is drama that occurred as Funamusia shared pornographic rape art featuring the two on Tumblr, the backlash leading to her having to leave the site and rebrand her image. FunnyPizzaLand is a 2011 artistic game created by Roman with its aesthetics and game engine tied to give off the appearance of a 2002 PC game. For some time, there was heavy debate on when the game actually released, as all references to a date of release in-game shows that 2002 was the year. However, there are no concrete evidence of the game existing before 2011, so it is believed that it is a LARP by the developer to give the game more mystique. In-game, you play as Pedro, the owner of a pizzeria who notices a reward for capturing the global media monster, an entity that has been ravaging Pizzaland for most of its history. The game's style is noted to be quite surreal, feeling unfinished and uncomfortable, especially the most notable aspect being Pedro's distorted face as it stretched throughout the most of the playthrough. It can also be quite difficult to figure out the objective, as the game's directions can be quite vague, with only pointers such as a white goblin figure asking for sausage, which can be obtained in the sewers, or a key to the pizzeria van that can be obtained by going through the Catacombs. Completing the game only shows a cutscene and throws you into a bedroom with a TV, which has caved way for theories about this specific area. It should be noted Roman has also created more games with his similar style as well. Around the same year, he released Gobbo Go's Adventures, a point-and-click game featuring a different character, meant to be in the same universe as FunnyPizzaLand, but far after a climate catastrophe. And in 2022, he at last released FunnyPizzaLand 2, a sequel point-and-click with a more 2D art style, and focuses more on the history of Pizzaland, going through different hoops and trying to obtain the way to clean your pizza oven. both even to people who's played FunnyPizzaLand are quite obscure, for some even only hearing about it in other game-related Iceberg charts. Thanks for watching the video till the end. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and drop a comment. Your comments help me know if you'd like to see more videos like this.